good evening, APT family. Appreciate you guys hanging with us, coming in a little bit late. Thursday night, 9, Matt Fegley, live from Vegas. He's betting on every college basketball game imaginable. We did have the Folds of Honor bracket challenge. I got a notification like 2 hours ago that I have a 62.5% bracket right now, which is not very good. So how are you doing?
I'm doing well, but same thing. My bracket is pretty much toast already, but whatever.
I'm just glad that the only thing I bet was, the $20 donation to Folds of Honor. So somebody's going to win tonight.
Exactly.
So anyway, but we're here above the clouds, a place called Cloudland in Macklemore, here with Charlie Reimer. Everybody should know him.
Hi.
So, and Nathan Frazier, member of Macklemore. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing well.
So I put Matt Minder on the thing. I'm sorry, Charlie. That was insulting to you. You're certainly more important than I am in this deal, but we're glad to have you here at the really beautiful new golf resort. I'm impressed.
Well, cool. Well, we're thrilled to have you guys here, and the only weak spot for us here at Macklemore is having Nathan as a member, and we just can't get rid of him. We've tried. We've tried everything. I'm executive vice president here. I'm like, we got to get rid of this guy. Let's not send him a bill. He's got his bill set up on auto pay, so we can't not send him a bill. It pays, and it's. I don't know. He's a lot like having a good case of the crabs.
Right.
You just can't get rid of him or them.
Every great country club has that guy, right?
Right. Well, and I do love Nathan. He's a heck of a player. He's I hate to say something nice, but we kind of have every club's got a hierarchy, right?
Right, 100%.
And they've got like their best player and the second best player and the third best player, and he really shook up that hierarchy when he came in here because he went right to the top. So now we don't have a very strong club player-wise, but he did go right to the top.
So I got to tell you a story here. Since the last time you were on, you told me on the live that you taught him how to hit a cut.
I did.
And so 2 weeks later, we show up. We're down at Reunion for our winter shootout Reunion. And I'm standing watching him hit his first tee shot. And there's this one tree like 30 yards right. And Nathan's like, this fairway's so tight, I can't hit it. And he goes, hey, watch, I'm going to hit this cut right down the middle. And I mean, he hit a push hook just dead into that tree.
Right. Well, I had him the day that I taught him to hit a cut. He was hitting a cut. I don't offer any kind of guarantees. He walked away from the range, hitting the cut. What he does after that is his own business, is the way I look at it.
You got to clear the legs, buddy.
We put Reunion behind us. I am done with Reunion. I have volunteered to clean carts, pull them out, or do anything for our nationals this year to help APT because I believe in it. But it's in my best interest to not play in that.
Well, I will tell you, my nickname was Cut City for a long time. I can hit cuts. We'll keep working. Yeah. So I think Charlie's got a good revenue stream if he's teaching you how to hit a cut, my friend.
I draw your cut. We did
I not have you hitting a cut that day on the range?
You did.
Yeah, you wouldn't listen to me.
His cut's like a 15-yard draw.
Yeah. All right.
It's okay.
At some point this weekend, Chris, I would like for you to videotape, and we're going to have a cut contest on the range.
Yeah, all you got to do is.
We're not going to show how hard the wind is blowing from left to right on the range, but we're going to have a cut.
All you got to do is pull that left foot back, aim left, and hold the toe. That's all you got to do.
My belly's in the way. I can't see the toe.
But you don't think I didn't factor that in with my belly?
Oh, goodness. Fegley, we're having a good time here tonight at Macklemore.
Absolutely, man. I again, it's a lot going on, so I wasn't able to make it, but I'm sure you guys, and it looks like you all are having a wonderful
time. It's because you're just no fun, man. You're at the whole, you're in Vegas, you're betting on basketball. I was kind of hoping Wofford would beat Tennessee, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Nope. But they did cover the first half number, and it's getting a little dicey if they're going to cover the full game, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I got to be honest, man. I'm telling you, this place is pretty freaking cool. You're missing out. You've got just a world-class hotel. But, man, I got to tell you, the golf cottages you put us in, the first year we did this, we joined Dormy Network and did some of the best accommodations ever had at, Victoria National and Briggs. And these are every bit as good, if not better, than those two great. I mean, this place is stinking special, man. Like we have hit a gym this weekend you know, I was talking to these guys coming in, I talked to you. How many golf courses at the top of a mountain course, are truly walkable in the country? I could think of Ozark National. That was about
Well,
it.
the number's 0 for me and Nathan. But no, and thank you for your comments. But we really do. We've got a great assortment of houses and cottages. I assume you guys are staying in the cottages up by the driving range,
Yep.
which are kind of set up with 4 bedrooms in the common area. And then we've got some more traditional housing that's available as well. Folks like coming and stay in there, especially the ones that have a kitchen. You like to cook a little bit, that's great. And then our hotel, we're very proud of that. It's a Hilton Curio collection, and really is well, just got 4 diamonds. I would call it a 4.5-star hotel. It's 245 rooms. It's got great meeting space and convention space. And when I got here nearly 6 years ago, I came on board, and I wasn't real sure what I was going to do here, but I knew that I wanted to be a part of it. And so I'm going on about my 5th year now as executive vice president. And we had a halfway house. And now we've still got that halfway house. It has a great hot dog, by the way. But we've got 5 restaurants, and from fine dining to a really neat casual restaurant that's at our pool at the hotel that you kind of feel like you're hanging over the edge of the mountain there. And it's come so far in such a short period of time, and the reviews from the hotel are great. The existing golf course is going to come out of winter. Is as good as it's ever been. We're on bent grass greens on both golf courses here. The Highlands course is Bermuda with the tees and the fairways. It's a very different character than the Keep, but it's gotten a lot of attention. And in particular, the 18th hole. Can you imagine our 18th hole got ranked the 22nd best hole in the country, #1 in Georgia. There's a few holes in Augusta that are pretty impressive that we're rank ahead of. We didn't pay them off or anything either. So don't think that, but it was kind of neat to get that. But then the Keep is something that I think is really going to be special as it matures. We opened September 28th of last year, and construction is complete. We're in grow in, but we do have that same bent grass. It's AU Victory bent grass that was developed down at Auburn. But we went a little different route with the rest of the course. We've got a stadium, is a variety of Georgia, and we're the first to use it on a full golf course in the world, and it's on the tees and the fairways, and we really don't have much rough. But we've got a little over 92 acres of it. And most golf courses are less than 30 acres of fairway, and we've got 90 acres of fairway over there. I had a little input on that because I hit it really bad off the tee. I can hit the fairways over there, but the grass is great. Bill Bergen and Reese Jones did an amazing job with it, and I tell people, and I think it's fair. You could put that golf course in a cornfield in the middle of Iowa, and people go, "Wow, it's a really cool golf course." But you hang it off a cliff in northwest Georgia, right where Georgia, Tennessee, and Alabama come together, and every single hole has got this 50-mile plus view. They say you can see 70 miles, but all I can see is 50. but it's a very dramatic sight. Really good golf course on a very dramatic site. There's no housing. There's no out of bounds. The previous green is close to the next tee, so it really is walkable. It's about 6.5 miles, and which is pretty moderate in the world of walking golf. And we are going to add some golf carts here in the spring because there's a lot of folks that just want to have a cart when they play. Isn't that right, Nathan? But it's really neat to see the entire place come together, and I feel like we've gone from AA baseball to the major leagues, and really in the last year or so. So it's been a lot of growth in a real short amount of time.
No, absolutely. We used to have we have a member in St. Louis that's been blowing me up about coming to Macklemore for years and years and years, and I was supposed to be here for the Golf Week Raider Retreat in October and got sick, and but just pulling up and seeing the golf course, seeing the facilities. Reading a lot. I'm really excited, playing a practice round on the Keep tomorrow just to get out there and walk it.
Right.
I mean, how cool is it to be able to spend 4.5 hours just walking on top of a mountain in this beautiful. I mean, you get a links course at the top of the mountain. It's very unique, and it's a really cool.
Yeah, I've gotten to be friends with Marcus Allen, Heisman Trophy winner, College Football Hall of Fame, Professional Football Hall of Fame, and he lives in Atlanta now, and he does a lot. He's very generous with his time, and I met him through some work that we both do, volunteering for Children's Miracle Network hospitals, and I'm like, hey, you got to come up and see us. So he brought some friends up, and you're gonna love this story. So he loved the golf course, and I was telling a couple of our caddies as we were walking down the 9th fairway, he was going down the cliff edge on the left, just taking pictures like mad. And he was smiling. I'm like, guys, that's Marcus Allen. He's seen everything in the whole world in golf. You think he's ever taken that many pictures of any golf course?
Yeah, exactly.
And so that was really cool. But here's the story. We got finished, and we're in the pro shop. We're in temporary facilities still at the Keep, and the golf course is up, and the golf course is playing great. But we haven't brought all of our facilities online yet. And he's over there hanging out by the $79 sweaters over in the far right corner. And he's kind of looking at them, and those guys like that, they don't think we don't have money, right? I mean, Marcus Allen doesn't even have money, right? I don't even think he has a wallet. And I'm like, hey, Marcus, why don't you, pick out a sweater, a hat, whatever you want. We'd love for, Heisman Trophy winner, College Football Hall of Fame, Football Hall of Fame member to be wearing our stuff. And he goes, okay. And he took off from the right corner of that pro shop to the far left corner. He ain't run that fast since his last USC Notre Dame game, and he went right for the cashmere. I'm telling you what, he went from $79 piece of outerwear to $399 piece of outerwear in 1.2 seconds. And so I've been texting him. I'm like, hey, Cashmere, how you doing today? And of course I sent it to all his buddies too. He plays a lot of golf with Dr. J. And so I'll get a video call from Marcus Allen and Dr. J. And I'm like, Dr. J, we ain't got any cashmere up here big enough to fit you.
As I say, I think if there's any material that the price is going to go up when you get in those bigger sizes, it's going to be that.
Right.
That is for sure.
One thing that's cool here when it comes to apparel is the different selections. I mean, I've played with a lot of clubs, and just the selection here, the way it's priced is it's economical. You're paying for what you get, and you're paying for good stuff.
Right.
The best part is I act like I'm huge. I'm really not that big. But we got a corner over in the back called Charlie's Corner.
It's big enough you can't hit a cut.
Make sure you go in the pro shop. There's this corner called Charlie's Corner. Everything's 2X or bigger. Or bigger. And it's all in one spot. And one thing I loved about here is, as everybody at APT knows, I'm the guy that probably annoyed Matt so much. That's why we have Imperial now. And
I'm wearing it right now.
Right. And
stop talking about me.
We have, as Fegley pops his head back and forth with his traditional Imperial.
All coming in. We told you it would.
McLemore's first place I've ever found that has a double XL Imperial.
Yep, because XL isn't big enough in the
You never
hats.
find it.
No, that's fair. I don't even know if they told us that they had those when we ordered.
Well, so the reason behind that is I'm a size 15 shoe, which means that I'm a size 15 sock, which is impossible to find. And I'm a size 8 hat. In fact, when I played the PGA Tour, the joke on tour was, would you rather have $100,000 or Charlie's hat full of quarters? And I mean, you had to think about that a little bit. And I'm a extra large with a shirt, and maybe a little bigger than that with an outerwear. And I always thought, well, if I got in this part of or in this side of the business, I'd make sure that, we had some stuff for some big guys. Because my whole life, I've never gotten to pick out clothes. I got whatever they had to fit me, and generally it was like the red shirt, right? You remember the Kool-Aid commercial? I'm like, a guy wearing a 2X or 3X shirt does not want a damn red shirt. Hey, Kool-Aid, bust through the fence or whatever. And so it took me, after I got here, our golf professional, Doug Amore, he's a golf professional at the Keep now, but he was here at McLemore, and he's a skinny golf pro. And I'm like, Doug, we need big stuff. We need big stuff. And he's like, he couldn't get it. He couldn't understand. And I'm like, The big guys will come in, and if we have it, they won't buy one. They'll buy every one that you've got. And so he kept saying, we're going to get no intention to get it. The only fight we ever got into. And finally, I said, Doug, you can have a look at that org chart. And I'm just going to tell you, if you don't get some of that big boy stuff and that corner over there, you can look at that org chart, and you've been here all of these years. I said, one of us is going to have to go. and so all in the corner, all the double X and all the triple X. And because generally what happens is you walk in a golf shop, you're a big guy, and you see like, hey, I want that shirt. And you go up through the rack, and you get to the large, and I got a few of those. You get extra large, and they're out, right? And you take it. It's like an emotional thing. And I'm like, don't do them by line. Put all the big boy stuff in the corner. And they started selling that corner out. And he came over to me one day. He said, you were right.
Say it one more time.
I have with my wife all the time. She's like, what'd you say? I'm like, you were right. Say one more time.
I tell you, there's nothing worse than, if you're a big guy and you walk into a golf shop and you see the director of golf or the head professional and they're a skinny dude, you're like, yeah, I'm screwed here. I don't have anything that fits me.
You'll appreciate this. So Turtleson's been with us from day one, and we did a bunch of, tee gifts with him first couple of years. And we'd always have to, at the end of the tournament, we'd run out of 2X and 3X. We have to order stuff in. And so one day we're talking to, the president of Turtleson and our rep, Carol, who's probably watching. We love you, Carol. Carol's my favorite. But anyways, and she'd be like, you guys need a lot of 3X. And we're like, yeah. And I swear we're the reason they start carrying 3X and all their stuff now.
Please, I'm telling you, all the guys that design all of this golf stuff, they're tiny little guys. And go to a state park or a national park or a mall, right? There's a lot of people that look like me and Nathan running around there that need something in front of the L on the sizing, sometimes more than one something.
Charlie and
they miss it.
I mean, if
and they miss it.
Out of food, these people, we can eat off ourselves for a while.
Yeah, right. There's more fat people out there than anybody thinks. I'm just telling you.
Especially in America, man.
But not a walking course like the Keep. I'm down a few pounds, but I still got to have a double X on.
No, 100%. Well, I want to bring Fegley in for a second. I'm just thinking about this APT schedule. Like, you look at courses, like, everybody makes fun of me because I have like my top 10, like that 22 course. But like, if you talk about really spiritual experiences, like when you're out playing golf, like first I think of the Bay course at Kapalua out in Maui, one of my favorite places to spend. Bandon's another one. But I'm telling you, the next 3 events on our schedule, you've got here, the Keep. I'm fully just the views looking out at dinner tonight. I cannot wait for the next 3 days here at Macklemore. It's going to be beautiful. And then we go to Red Rock out at Black Desert, which is, I think, one of the most unique and interesting places.
Wonderful place.
Like, how cool is it? You got like the black lava rock, like in kind of the near view, and then you've got the Red Rock, and then you've got like the snow-capped mountains behind it. Such a cool place.
Mm-hmm.
The fairways there are amazing just because you're either in the fairway or you're in the rocks. And
you can't go in the rocks out there.
With my draw, it kind of hits the rocks and bounces back in sometimes.
And they're big fairways too, even though it gets hot there in the summertime. Yeah, neat place.
It's interesting. Utah is just everything about Utah is an interesting place.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
and then from there we go to Bedford, which Bedford's one of my favorite spots anywhere. The old course at Bedford, Donald Ross. Very, very cool spot. Cool hotel too. All made of wood. It's like the most haunted hotel in the United States.
We got.
What's up? We got Will
heckler.
Morgan in the back.
We got a heckler back there.
So,
somebody get that guy another drink.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So I don't know, Fegley, what do you want to add to this conversation?
Man, I'm just enjoying listening to all the good stories and about the wonderful place you guys are at.
So I did learn something I didn't properly introduce Charlie, besides being executive vice president of Macklemore, leaving Myrtle Beach, the golf capital of the world, to come to Macklemore. And we love Myrtle Beach. No hating, but this place is pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about being up here. But I didn't realize Charlie here was the first underwear model for 2 Under.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Connected from the very beginning. We didn't even know it.
Yeah. It's I got to tell you, my life just would be the same without 2 Under. The first time I ever put a pair on, like so many have done, I'm like, I threw out every other pair of underwear I had.
Easy.
Right. Every single pair, which were all like ratted out in the crotch. And 2-unders, like it changed my life. And it's funny, you talk to people that have
Right.
that experience. It's like the first time you wear 2-under, it's like I'm
But
done with anything else.
We seriously laugh. Like how I came to it. It's actually when I met Fegley. It was in the middle of COVID. We were out recruiting directors. So Jody and I flew to California, and we get there. It's the middle of COVID. Like no restaurants open. Like it's California during COVID. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we went the first day, and we walked Pasatiempo.
Yep.
So I walked Pasatiempo, and then we drove all the way from Pasatiempo down to Monterey and
Santa Barbara. Yep.
Yeah, we had dinner at Monterey and then drove to Santa Barbara.
Yep.
And through that, like I was not doing well.
No.
I was not doing well. And so Jody was like, man, you need to find some 2-under. This will solve this problem. We go into the pro shop at the next golf course. They had 3 pair. And I was like, I'll take all 3. Literally went to the dressing room and changed my underwear before the next round.
The other thing I'll tell you that'll surprise you, the second part of that equation for walking and playing golf, there's a company here in Chattanooga called Chatham that has a product that is also life-changing, especially in combination with 2-under, called Gold Bond. Right? It is unbelievable. Not a game.
By the plant.
You can smell it in the air. Oh, man. And a big boy, it'll change your life. Those 2 products together.
I feel like we have a national sponsor in the making. The Gold Bond Open.
Yeah.
It's going to be played in Arizona in August.
Wow.
And you have to walk.
Me to Stream Song last year. And if you remember, we were in the middle of the summer. And I will never forget that I never had an issue.
Right. You never have an issue.
Well, my wife told me, like I used to wear a different brand. It was Under Armour. And she said, you need to just do lunges. And your underwear won't fall down all the time in the back.
What a visual that is.
Well, I found with 2-under that I do not need to do that.
Oh. This is built for
lunges or
lunges built my butt.
It's an exercise.
I got that. I just did think Nathan would be talking about the same thing. I wasn't sure if that was like country for lozenges, like you taking like cough drops.
Well, you guys know Jack Curry, who's a member of the tour. And
Absolutely.
With 2-under from the beginning. When they were first getting started, I got some of the product and I said, Jack, this is incredible. And so at the time, and this goes back a few years, I would occasionally play some golf with Mr. Trump and he would come on our show a good bit. And he had his own show on Golf Channel. So I just got to be friendly with him. And so I said, Jack, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to, help you get in the Trump golf courses. I don't know how many he has. I think at the time it was over 20. And so I went to his folks and they took it, like all of his golf courses. And so they're like, wow, that's pretty, getting over 20 golf courses and resorts, around the world, this product's a pretty big deal. They said, Charlie, what can we do for you? I said, that's very simple. 2 things, free underwear for life. And number 2, if you can't do number 1, is I get to officially tell the entire world that I'm an underwear model. Jack said, done. So I am an underwear model. You had no idea you were sitting next to an underwear model. I'm an official underwear model.
I'm sitting amongst royalty.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Right.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, we got you.
Papa Steve is running the boom.
I'm not sure why Papa Steve fixed it. I mean,
We
we're
like
kind
it
of
better
enjoying
when we
the
couldn't hear
muted.
I figured y'all enjoy the call more when you could hear me.
So I just, as you were telling that story about going to the Trump courses, I'm just thinking, how funny would it be to have Donald Trump voice a 2-under commercial? It'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be pretty
It's
awesome.
huge. It's huge.
The best. The best.
I think he's doing pretty much other things like selling his watches and his sneakers, but maybe we could fit some underwear in there too.
I miss his golf shirts that used to be at Macy's. Someone told us
I didn't even know that he made golf shirts in Macy's.
Donald Trump shirt company used to be at Macy's. It was the best golf shirt you could ever have.
Gotcha. But anyways, Moving right along, Fegley, we're back to. I'm not sure where we're back to. My bracket's busted. Looks like Kansas might beat Arkansas. That's sad.
It's Calipari in the first round, man.
Or how is this working today?
We're freestyling.
It's like, you ever seen those events we were talking the other day where like you have like 100 people and they all start in the same hole at the same time? Have you seen those?
No.
Like people are doing those now.
Shootout.
Yeah, somebody's like, "Hey, would you do that and run that?" And I'm like, the first thing I think, I'm like, what would it cost for the insurance of that to have 100 people tee off at the same hole at the same time?
So I'm glad you brought that up because one of the things when you get on the Keep, you'll realize all 18 holes at the Keep have the big view. We don't have any filler holes where there's no view. I mean, a lot of times you go to a mountain course and there's like one hole, you're on the mountain. You go to an ocean course, there's one hole, you're on the ocean course. Well, all 18 holes at the Keep, you've got that view. And there's also at least 10 places that we could go stand and I could show you a part of every single hole out there. Now, the only other course I've seen that, and I was up there back in September, is Oakmont. If you stand on the 10th tee at Oakmont, because it kind of goes down and then there's a Pennsylvania Turnpike and it goes up, I thought maybe I could see 17 of them because I didn't think I could see the par 3 16th at Oakmont. You actually can see the tee there. But you can see the entire golf course without moving an inch at the Keep, and we're going to do this for a member event at some point where we're going to play cross country golf.
That's awesome.
Where we're going to play from like the 18th tee all the way over to the 8th green, which is the whole width of the golf course. We don't come back to the clubhouse, so we're an out and back, and so we might start. We're not going to start with 100. We don't even have 100 members, but we'll play all the way cross country. I don't know how you figure out what the par is. We're going to have to test that out. It might be a par 14, but I think it'll be a lot of fun to do that.
I've kind of wanted to do that anyway, just for fun sometimes, because I'll give you the example, and then we got to go to break. We'll be back to the Keep. But Lookout Mountain, what's that par 3, Nathan? No, it's the one with the Biarritz. We did a senior event there in 22. It's like 11, 12.
The Biarritz it's 13.
13.
Right by the pro shop where
and like the ladies' tee's like 210 yards.
Yeah.
And so the day we played it, they put the pin all the way in the back, which meant the ladies' tee was like 250. Right. So we put like our champ flight guys literally from the ladies' tees, it was still like 225. Yeah. And they all complained. I'm like, you know what? We should have just put par 4 on it.
Are you talking
and let them play it.
Are you talking about the one, not the one that tees off by the pro shop, but the one that goes back towards the woods?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's number 4. We had the men's metro in Chattanooga.
Thing's brutal.
Year, and you had to be a 5 or better handicap to play in the Chattanooga men's metro last year. And just for fun, after the tournament, they went on Golf Genius, pulled up all the scoring from the field. The scoring average on that hole was like 0.3 of a point for being a double bogey. Yeah, no, I mean, I believe it. The first year I won, our city amateur, we have our 17th hole at, our club back where I'm from. It's 235 up the hill, and, there's water on the left, it'll be on the right, deep bunkers, and this up green, it usually plays into the wind. I played all 4 rounds of city. First time I won it, I had 6 iron off the tee, laid up to 60 yards, and I made
like
par.
Billy Casper Wingfoot.
Right, I made par 3 of the 4 days and had the best scoring average, and
a lot of the guys
won the tournament.
A lot of the guys this weekend will realize really quickly that, if you want to play aggressive here, you can, but if you miss, you're dead.
Yeah,
you really have to play smart here.
I seriously
just get up and whack it course.
I seriously want to run a tournament sometime though that it's literally just 18 par 4s. I mean, we're still gonna have a 130-yard par 4 and we'll have a 550-yard par 4 because it's just mentality, right? It's how do you get the ball in the hole in the fewest amount of strokes.
Let's go back to Disney and do it at that Palm course where we had the 2 under 90-yard renovation holes and play those as par 4s. I'm in.
It was like cross country.
I'm a big fan of cross country golf.
Absolutely,
as long as it goes by the turnhouse at some point.
Right.
That's the routing and the tournament organizer. You got to get by the beer stand. But anyways, stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back. We're going to talk about the Keep and the Highlands course some more. We got a message from our presenting sponsor, Worldwide Golf. We'll be right back.
Get there. Get there. Get there.
Get there. Those 2 words are said by golfers all over the world.
as a sign of respect, a whisper of encouragement, a roar of support. It's what we say to our competitors, our loved ones, our heroes. It's what we say to ourselves.
Get there.
At Worldwide Golf, we're like you. We strive to improve our game, to elevate our standards, and transcend our limits. Our commitment is to the journey, to the tradition, and to the spirit of golf that unites us all. Since 1963, Worldwide Golf has been there to supply golfers with the equipment and apparel they need to drive their journeys forward. With over 100 retail locations spread across 10 retail brands and the best golf e-commerce websites, we have exactly what every golfer needs for however they choose to play. All of this done to help golfers who want to be their best get there. We are golfers, and we're here for golfers. We built a brand around evolving the game and having what you need to play your way, and it shows in every product we offer and every experience we provide. Our goal is singular, to help you get there. Though the game may change, our mission remains: to stand beside you, to grow with you, to celebrate every victory and learn from every shot. Worldwide Golf. Get there.
And we're back. Fegley, how's it going out there in California?
Oh, no. Las Vegas, Nevada. We are doing well.
I don't know why I said
Arkansas
California.
game. I'm catching some things. Apparently Drake or Arkansas or something. The book's been going nuts. So
Arkansas is up 4 with 1:23 left. Like
okay.
beyond like the great resort and golf courses, Macklemore, we've got 2 TVs here with the games on.
Hey, there you go.
Are you running an Uber or something out there? Why are you always in your car?
Well, there was nowhere else to go. I mean, I could take
Phil left and he went to deliver some pizzas up here, so I'm trying to see what you're doing.
Yeah, I got to go take someone to the airport here in a minute. Got to pay off those wagers that I lost.
All right.
It's just the quietest place to be.
I got you.
It happens. I want to get back. I want to talk about the Keep a little bit. I'm excited about this. There's a lot of hype to this place. I mean, Reese Jones talks pretty highly about it. I mean, I've read all the articles.
It's on the cover of Golf Week that just came out.
How many trees did y'all remove?
Well, we don't have a count on how many trees we removed, but here's what happened. Our president and founder, board member of Scenic Land, which is a parent company, his name is Dwayne Horton. He's, along with being my boss, he's a great friend and a graduate of the greatest school on the planet, Georgia Tech, just like I am. And I didn't know Dwayne till I initially came here, but he's incredibly intelligent person, and he didn't grow up in golf, and God love him. He's a horrible golfer and he tries, but he was a cheerleader at Georgia Tech, and he's like, he's barrel chested, and he could chop wood with a 12-pound maul all day long, but an 8-iron, it's not pretty. But he's such an intelligent guy. He's the mind of an engineer. He's a building construction guy. He's a land developer, and he's across 7 or 8 different disciplines. He's an incredibly intelligent person, and I'm not just sucking up to him because he's my boss. Hey, Dwayne, how you doing? But he learned golf, and if you didn't grow up in golf, it's really difficult to learn golf. And so it's one of the things I did when I was at Golf Channel. We would have a sports announcer come in who wasn't a golf person, and they would kind of pair me with them, and it would be my job to bring them up to speed in golf. For example, one doesn't golf, one plays golf. Golf's never a verb, and certain things that you have to stay away from, that if you work at Golf Channel and you say things in a certain way or pronunciations, then the audience knows, hey, that guy doesn't have any idea what he's doing.
You don't tell people good luck on the court today?
No, not on the when
we
you're
had somebody
playing
do that to
golf,
us one time.
You don't,
Right.
yeah, good on the golf court with your golf sticks out there.
Right.
Yeah, but Dwayne, every aspect of golf, on the construction side, on the history side, on the turf side, I could put him up in front of a group of golf course architects and he would blow them away.
Right.
But if you watch him hit a golf ball, you'd be like, oh my God, that guy doesn't know anything about golf. And he's
Longest
unfixable.
18 holes of my life.
Right. He's unfixable.
I love you,
right.
Dwayne,
But so, I mean, he's a golfer. He loves golf. He's in the golf business. And there's a lot of people out there that are like that. You can be a golfer and not be great at golf.
Right.
100%.
What he did was he found this parcel where we're sitting is in the main clubhouse at our Highlands course, which is the center and always will be of Macklemore. The Cloudland Hotel is just 500 yards from us. But he found this parcel down the road. It's maybe 2 miles as a crow flies, 7-8 minutes in the shuttle. And it's 479 acre piece of property with 1.5 miles of cliff edge.
Wow.
And it was very heavily wooded. And here's what's so cool about it. In golf course architecture, and I know just enough about it to be dangerous, anything pretty much built after 1950, when the golf design team, in our case, it's a team with Bill Bergen and Reese Jones, or individual architecture or firm, when they get the land plan, the planning is all done. So here's where all the houses are going.
Yep.
Right. And so what they get is here's 18 corridors, and here's a site for a clubhouse, a driving range, and a practice area. Have fun, boys.
Right.
And so typically that's the land where all the water drains to. And so modern golf course architecture becomes a civil engineering project on how you drain water away from the low areas. And people, when they play golf courses like that, they kind of intuitively feel that, hey, this wasn't the highest best use for this property. It was built, it was lots. And so Mike Kaiser taught us that in modern golf, that if you build great golf, people they'll come. Well, and so what Dwayne Horton did is he gave 479 acres to Bill Bergen and Reese Jones without any land planning and said, build us the best golf course you can build us. And so that's why that 1.5 miles of cliff edge, every inch of it is filled with golf hole.
Right.
And to create the view for the rest of it, because our topography is fairly flat here, even though we're mountaintop, you had to take the trees out.
Right.
And I love trees as much as the next person, but this mountain has been completely deforested twice. This isn't old growth or second growth or third growth, or what you see here is fourth growth. And so we took all of the oaks and pines out to create that view. And it really has paid off in a big way.
Right. No, I think, one of my favorite stories is a Raider, because what you're doing is very anti-American in golf, right? The only other people that have done it's Bandon. And one of my favorite stories, is you get David McClay Kidd comes over from Scotland and is bidding against Coore and Crenshaw for that first course.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's not a fair fight, Coore Crenshaw against some kid from, Scotland to take this course. And, Coore Crenshaw drew up the land plan, just like you were saying. They're like, well, the hotel goes here and, it's all in the water. And then we build a golf course in. And David goes, no. That's where your golf course is. Your best land has to be for the golf.
Amen,
And then you bring it in. And so if you go to Bandon, one of the places that makes Bandon, we go back to earlier talking about places that are spiritual. It's one of the reasons it's so spiritual, right? Is Bandon, you have the hotel and then you go out to the golf course. Like there's nothing better. And I think like Old McDonald up at Bandon, when you,
I love Old Mac.
When you cross the hill on number 3 and then you see the rest of that golf course and it's just pure golf. Like that's my expectation of the Keep. I cannot wait.
Well, I can't wait to talk to you after you've seen it.
Your expectation will be met.
Yeah. Cause
I'll tell you real quickly too. And Chris, I don't know if you have a mic on, but we drove over there when they got here today. I kind of pushed them a little bit, not too much, but I was like, hey, y'all get in my car before the sun goes down. Because I knew Ty was over there. And I was like, so I text Ty and I said, hey, I just want to drive them through because Chris has his trailer and all this stuff we're going to have to bring in there and I want him to see it. And it's same at the hotel, same when we came up here to the clubhouse. I love showing people this place. Right. I love, Chris, when we came down that hill, if you think I was watching the road, I wasn't. I was watching Phil's eyes because he was just like in awe. And I looked at him and I told him, I said, wait till you actually get out on it.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the things with Mike Kaiser, who I've spent just a little bit of time with, know him well enough to say hello, Mr. Kaiser. I think what he's done is really, really important to the game of golf, because at the time he was doing Bandon Dunes, which was at least the second, maybe the third attempt to do a golf course there, he had this intuition that golfers will respond to authentic golf.
Correct.
And at the time, everybody was saying, well, you got to have the spa, you got to have the pool, you got to have this, that, and the other, and all that. And he's like, no, we got to have the golf. The golf comes first. And so as we were working through the process of trying to decide, are we going to do a second golf course? As you can imagine, it's building a golf course up here with a lot of rocks, an expensive endeavor. I would often point Dwayne Horton to Mike Kaiser interviews, and what he's done is really inspiring. It's changed the trajectory of golf in this country, and it's certainly something that we look to. When you're looking at investing the kind of money that we've invested in that golf course, you got to say, okay, well, let's look around for some comps. And Mike Kaiser has proven that you build the golf, and it's great golf, and it's authentic golf. Golfers are going to respond to that. And I really know deep down in my heart, that's what's happening right now with the Keep.
I agree.
100% agree. I will throw out the one thing that Bandon has that's phenomenal is that breakfast buffet. I mean, how good is that breakfast buffet at Bandon? Like nothing.
I just have the yogurt and a few mixed berries.
Yeah, I just have
in
a
there.
banana.
I remember we went to Stream Song the first year. Like, compare us to Bandon, and I'm like, the best breakfast buffet in the world is at Bandon for $13.95. It's like a whole room.
The breakfast buffet at Bandon is very special. I will say, Stream Songs was good.
Stream Song is good. It's a good spot.
Now, I've said before, I love everything Stream Song, everything about Stream Song. But the $48 breakfast buffet before you walk in 98-degree weather, I'm not going to eat just yogurt.
Yeah.
So those first 3 holes were rough, but other than that, it was fantastic.
You didn't have to walk when we played the tournament there. We had carts.
Well, when you hit a hook, and it's hard to get those carts through that sand.
There's a lot of gators too. You got to be careful.
Well, that's why I shot 5 under on the black course, and
you did
because the fairways are really wide.
Really,
the black course is.
You got a lot of dog leg lefts on that black course that Nathan likes. Yeah,
plenty of room. I will say this about the black course: is it's a golf course I appreciate more every time I play it. It gets better. Because the first time you play it, you're like, what in the world is this? Yeah. And then the more you play it, the more you appreciate the nuances and the angles. And it's a cool spot.
Gil Hanches, he's a thoughtful guy. And to be as accomplished as he is, he's very humble. And I'll say the same thing about Reese Jones. Reese Jones was a good friend of mine prior to working on this project. And I probably during the last 3 years of this project have talked to Reese at least once a week. But Gil and Reese are 2 of the finest people you'd ever meet in your entire life. And it just so happens they're incredibly, incredibly good at what they do. But over the years, my conversations with Reese has been more about life than it has about golf. And I'll tell you this, I went through some pretty serious health issues. I'm pretty fortunate and blessed to be here. And a guy that consistently called me and started out with, how you doing? How you feeling? When I was in some really bad stuff was Reese Jones. And he's an unbelievable golf course architect. I mean, you look at the stat that I look at with him, 27 golf courses that have hosted men's or women's major championships, Olam Cup, Ryder Cup, or President's Cup, he's touched or designed. So he's golf course architect, royalty, wildly successful financially. He's a Yale grad. But at the end of the day, he's a really fine gentleman that cares about a lot of people and a great friend of mine. So,
yeah, well, that's one of the things that's great about golf and great about tour life. We talk about it all the time in the APT. It's the camaraderie. It's so funny. With so many tours out there, like play like the pros, and they think it's like, just give the first tee experience, and like that's all part of it. You know what I mean? But to me, obviously I didn't play on tour like you did, but Nathan and I on the minor leagues of golf. I mean, the camaraderie of it's just a cool community. And that's really the best part about it.
Yeah, you meet a lot of great folks from all different walks of life.
Absolutely.
Different professions, different. I mean, some people are wildly successful financially in golf, and some people are the other end of the spectrum. And we have this great game in common. And what else can you go do with somebody for 4.5 or 5 hours? And, in general, you're not going to have a cell phone out, and you're going to be kind of engaged socially, heads up, having eye contact, and having this maddening game that everybody's trying to master. And there, I mean, there's not much else you could do. I mean, you can go fishing, right? And
There's not.
right. I mean, you're going to go on a fun run. Is there anything fun about running? No.
There's all these charities and they have these 5Ks.
Right. I'm not.
And they've never healed it. And you still pay them the money and you still have to run.
Right.
I'd rather just give them some money and go home.
Why don't me and you do like a half K? You want to do like a half K?
We can drive one.
We'll drive. Me and Nathan are going to drive.
We'll do it in a golf cart.
But you know what? You meet some great people and form lasting relationships in this game, and I don't know that there's anything else like it.
There's people on the smaller stuff like we played in, Matt, and it's so funny you said that, because some of my best friends still are people that, you always had the 25% of guys whose parents were funding them, 100%. And then you had the 75% of guys who really cared about each other. And within the first week, they knew what their favorite flavor of ramen noodles was and their favorite kind of Lunchable. So you learn that really quick.
So when I played the mini tours, you know how I knew whether or not I was going to just boat race somebody on the first tee? It's whether they complained about travel the night before, or they're like, man, I had so much fun in the hotel last night. Yeah. If you had fun in the hotel, I'm like, yeah, you've never done this before. I'm about to beat the pants off you on this golf course.
I guarantee you, if you had fun at your hotel the night before, your daddy's card paid for you.
Correct.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
Truer words have not been spoken.
Hey, one thing I want to add real quick too is, you're talking about the courses, you're talking about the golf, but the other thing too, and I think Matt and Chris have kind of experienced it here tonight, and Charlie's a huge influence and part of that, but the culture of the employees here. They go out of their way for you, even in y'all's conversations with the head professionals and stuff like that. They have a great staff here. And to me, I've played at a lot of courses, I've been members at a lot, and this is a place where I just like everybody. I generally like everybody, and everybody treats everybody well. And they really care.
Right. No, 100%. And that's, at the end of the day, like, you can have a great golf course, but you have a great golf course and a great atmosphere and a great staff. And, I mean, when we're talking about places like Bandon Dunes and Streamsong and Macklemore, and we're talking the same conversation, like, that's really special. I mean, you don't get that every week anywhere.
You see that side of the golf, but on the other side, I see this non-denominational chapel service that Charlie just started kind of out of his mind, and it's starting to foster and take off, and it's getting really good and people love it.
Well,
I hear him talk about, other things that we can't talk about yet, but his ways of helping people in the community. And it's a full reach out from Macklemore, and I love it.
Well, it's a great community of folks, and thank you for mentioning the staff. Here tonight, Megan, I think, was taking great care of y'all. Our general manager here at the Craig Restaurant, one of our 5. His name is Kyle Speaks, and you wouldn't find a better guy than Kyle Speaks, who's very passionate about making people have a great experience. Well, and our chef Patrick here, Betsy behind the bar tonight, and the folks down at the hotel, they love creating great experiences for folks.
Love seeing a smile on people's face. And it's like I told y'all at dinner, one of the coolest things is, like, Kyle, I mean, he's an investor here. I mean, he literally is invested in Macklemore.
Yep.
And he takes it personally.
He started out as a waiter here, and now he's a general manager of one of our restaurants, and he would sit in a lot of our presentations. He made an inquiry. He goes, hey, I want to maybe get involved in some of the investment here, and it really kind of took us all by surprise. And awesome he invested in us, and he's on the front lines hearing us and hearing the reaction to the members and the investors that we have that make this possible.
I'll give you a quick example. Right, I needed a charging cord for my phone.
Right.
He brought me a charging
Oh, I
cord.
know. He
He went
unwrapped
to his
it.
car to get it.
Right.
It's his personal charging cord. He went to his car. It's not
Yeah.
Macklemore's. The guy cares.
Right.
Mhm.
Well,
That's
I mean,
a big deal to me.
just from
And he doesn't even really like you.
No,
Nathan.
nobody
just
does.
from an ownership perspective, though, I mean, to see somebody that works for you to get involved like that, that tells you everything you need to know about the culture, what you're building.
Yep.
It's
And you know,
everything.
the thing here, this course has been here for, this course hasn't, but the Highlands course, both courses, or the Keep's brand new. The Highlands course, it was a course before this. I wouldn't call it a course, but it was here. And locally, Charlie told me something probably a year ago. And I'll give a quick example because I know we probably got a break coming up or end coming up. But
it's past your bedtime.
It's way past
it's way
my
past
bedtime.
Charlie's. I had to text his wife and say thank you for letting him do this. You know, I played in the Pine Needles. I brought my partner up here. We looked at some loft and lies on his irons before we went. And like I was saying earlier, watching his eyes when we came down in my golf cart to the range to see the short course, 6-hole short course, to see the giant putting greens and stuff like that, and then drive him over. Hey, there's 18. When you know where the short courses used to be the 18 before Reese and Bill came in and redid it. And Charlie told me something. He's like, this place used to be called something else. And
Two different things, actually.
yes, and if you told people that course and, oh, they built a hotel up there, well, everybody in Chattanooga, they're like, oh, I'm not driving up there. It's an average course. And everybody thought they built like a damn Ramada Inn or something up here.
Mhm.
Right.
And then they get up here and they see the hotel and they're like, oh my God.
They don't want to leave.
They don't want to leave.
Right.
And then they call you all the time. I'm like, look, we're not friends. I don't, you know, we don't ever hang out. And all of a sudden you see this place and keep calling me. I'm good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it really has taken the locals by surprise.
It is.
Yeah.
And I think, I think, it, and the whole booking process, knowing that Jody and I started the first conversation with you is very good because, you know, we did that before the hotel even opened. And now everybody's here and I've been excited about it for a long time.
It's going to be good.
It's, and I hope
These guys are in for a treat.
it'll go very well. And I hope it goes so well that, you know, APT is like, we got to go back.
I hope so too.
This place is good.
Yeah, I think you guys are going to have a great time this week.
So what's my favorite hole going to be at the Keep, Charlie?
You know,
my favorite hole.
well, I got to tell you that's an interesting question, and it's a great problem that we have. We had our first round of golf back September 28th, and I've asked a lot of the golfers that question, and I've had 7 different answers of what's favorite hole, and mine's moved. I will tell you this: we have a stretch of holes. 8, 9, 10, 11. I would take that 4-hole stretch up against any 4-hole stretch anywhere on the planet right now today.
I agree.
Eight's a par 3 that has kind of a reverse Redan green. The view is just spectacular. We don't put the back tees out. I could set this golf course up at 8,000 yards if I wanted to. It's right at 7,800, you know, on the scorecard, and we're not even setting the tees out. If you want to play back there, you got to get permission ahead of time or be a member. A member privilege is you can play wherever you want. But you know, generally the hole's going to play
from the fringe.
yeah, generally the hole's going to play 170-ish. But a magnificent par 3 with a lot of great movement in the green, and then 9's a par 4 that plays along the cliff edge, and it's actually kind of cantilevered away from the cliff, and it's got these nasty bunkers up the right side. And even though it's a very wide fairway, it plays a lot more narrow than that. And the green is a little over 60 yards deep, and it's a flagstick up against the horizon, and you can see Macklemore Cove. We don't call them valleys here; they're coves. It's one of the largest bowls in North America, and you just get a great feel of the scope of the property. And then the 10th hole is a par 5 that plays along the cliff edge. The back tee's around 610 yards, and it's a hole that plays beautifully from about 550 yards. It's a 3-shotter, and the second shot's a nightmare. I still haven't figured out how to hit the second shot. And then the 11th is a par 3 that essentially is a peninsula green with a cliff that falls off to the left and short, and it just kind of sits there. We can move the tees forward and backwards, literally 100 yards, left and right, 90 yards. We can create all kinds of angles in there. And the drama, the actual golf holes, the way they play, the swirling winds. I would take that 4-hole stretch up against any 4-hole stretch anywhere on the planet.
I would agree. And the green on 11 is amazing because it looks like it's floating.
Nice.
It literally looks like it's floating the way the rocks sit.
So I'll be interested in hearing what your favorite hole is. Those are 4 candidates, and we've got a solid 2 or 3 other candidates. My favorite hole, I'll just tell you, is the 16th hole, and when you see it, you'll know why. Yeah.
It'll be interesting. So I'll tell you, going in, they make fun of me all the time because I have like 15 top 10 golf courses.
Yeah.
But my favorite 6-hole stretch is unmatched. So we'll see.
What is that?
7 through 12 at Bannon Trails.
Okay.
That's
good.
One of my
That's
favorite,
hard to beat.
That's one of my favorite walks.
Well, it is. I mean, it's a great walk. There's
my
no
favorite
doubt
hole.
about
My favorite hole at the
though.
Keep is 17, just because the natural rock. It's the one with the natural rock faces on both sides, and it's. I don't want to bring a sore subject back up. It's a dog leg left, so it kind of sets up for me a little bit.
That's fair.
Good. It's a great hole.
Why is it a sore subject that you hook the ball 40 yards off the tee?
He's kind of sensitive. He's sensitive about it.
It's consistent.
Right. You should just embrace it. You are who you are. Nathan.
I just want to go to sleep tonight because I'm tired, not
if
because
you
I'm crying.
You are
myself
a
to
hooker, Nathan, and there's nothing wrong with being a hooker.
I am
nothing
a
wrong with it.
Yeah.
If you were blind, you just go find your ball in the fairway. It'd be fine.
Right.
Doesn't matter how it gets there.
Well, the number 1 hole on the Highlands course is a dog leg left. The number 1 hole at the Keep, if I hit any kind of cut, I'm going to be in a town called Chickamauga, which is 2,800 feet below the fairway. So I'm going to try and keep it on the left side of the fairway.
Chickamauga, by the way, has 3 Waffle Houses.
Yeah, correct.
That is
all 24 hours.
That is a great stat right there. You can't beat that. But what I'm looking forward to the Keep, one of the things they ask you when we interview in the Raider process is one of the essays we have to write is pick a golf course you could play every day and not get bored.
Mm-hmm.
Name one. For me, I said it was the Bay Course at Kapalua, which wouldn't be. It's not a top 100 golf course. It's not.
It's an incredible setting.
But to be there every day, it plays different in the winds.
Well, anytime you can play golf with whales flapping their tails around is a pretty good day. Yeah, we don't have any whales flapping their tails around here.
I would say the course that I could play every day and never get bored was I've played Oakmont 3 times, and literally you can have the same putt 3 times and it'll go 3 different ways. And so you never learn anything. So it just feels like a new course every time you play it.
There's not going to be,
but I don't have the money to play that every day.
Well, Bob Ford, who's retired to Oakmont, he's a very good friend of mine, and I'll tell you, there won't be a 4th time for Nathan because you got to keep your shirt on at Oakmont,
right?
And not just around the clubhouse, on all the holes out on the golf course. Every one of them, you got to keep your shirt on.
Well, first of all, they didn't like me jumping off. They didn't like me. They didn't like me jumping off that Pennsylvania megabus and trying to just get out on the course from the turnpike. They don't like that.
You need to repent for being in the church pews.
It's
because it is on the left side of the fairway. If I recall correctly,
I never hit the church pews.
I did. Every time I play there, that's where I go.
I tell you, if you find me a harder opening hole in golf than number 1 at Oakmont, then you've done very well.
It's interesting you say that because number 1 here at the Keep, I think is going to be one of the toughest opening holes in golf. And number 1 at Augusta on years when one is playing into the wind is a tough opening hole. But this June, Oakmont will have its 10th U.S. Open, and I imagine that number 1 there will be the toughest opening hole in all of golf on the entire PGA Tour. But I'm telling you what, when you play the Keep, number 1, get one of the caddies to show you where the back tee is there.
Right.
And I'm telling you what, it's a tough opening hole. So when you teed up at the Keep, you better be warmed up when you get to number 1, because there ain't no easing into your round.
Charlie, when we were pulling out, it was funny. We were pulling out, we were going by number 2, and Phil was like, so is that where the tee box is? You know, in his little, I'm live in North Carolina, but I'm really a Northeastern guy accent.
Yeah.
And
Canadian.
yeah, tariffed. We'll call him tariffed.
Call it Tara. Oh my God.
So he's like, where are the tees? I was like, which ones? And he was like, well, the blue tees. I was like, they're right back there. And he said, well, where are the tips? I said, you saw it, Chris. I said, way back there. Like, you can go back as far as you want.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's spoke to Steven Yeager about it a while back. And, you know, all the native grass, once it's grown in, he has said himself on tour, he's never walked as much as he would at the Keep if you played the tips in a normal tournament day on any course. And he said when that native grass grows in, it'll add 5 to 6 strokes to every single person's score, even him.
Wow. Interesting. Well, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good weekend.
It's going to be a blast.
I mean, you talk about people like, I want to go to a cool resort to play a golf tournament. I'm just saying you should have signed up.
Well, I mean, it's a season's kind of place. You know, yesterday I showed y'all pictures. I had the top off my golf cart. It was a convertible. I didn't have a windshield on it. I had shorts on, and I had a light pullover.
Yeah, I've got to talk to you because we don't like any of that as a club, especially with the shorts.
They're
the top off the cart, the shorts, the whole.
The top was off the cart, not me.
Right. Yeah, we got to talk.
Whatever. Well, I'm not walking, so you better figure something out.
That's bad when Charlie says you're so ugly you need tinted windows on your golf cart.
Right. So now
to play here.
I wake up this morning. Now I have a windshield on my golf cart. I have the roof on, and I have a full enclosure and my propane heater, thanks to Jeremy Key, who got me 2 tanks.
Yeah,
on the way here.
It was cold today.
And it was also snowing when Matt and Chris got here.
But we're gonna have a great weekend.
But it'll be literally you'll be sweating. You'll be sweating in shorts and short sleeves by Sunday.
It's that time of year.
I just I got an idea for you to make some money for charity. Those 5Ks you do.
I don't do 5Ks.
Well, no, you just say I'll ride in the golf cart if you beat me, and because the golf cart's here. Holy crap, dude!
It's every Thanksgiving there's something that my wife wants to do, and I'm like, look, we can give them the $50 and stay at home. We don't have to go walk.
I would donate $100 if you ran the 5K.
I would give you $150, and you keep your 100, and I'll just stay at home and give it to the charity. We've accomplished the same thing.
If we get Folds of Honor to do a 5K right now, we made $250.
There you go.
Yeah. Calling Sarah tomorrow.
Well, the folds in my body would not like that.
So, anyways, we've about talked it out tonight. Nobody needs to hear about the folds in your body. That's probably the point that the podcast needs to end.
APT After Dark has
and we're going to probably need another old fashioned before we leave to get the mental.
Charlie, thank you for joining us because I know you go to bed at like 6:30 every night.
It's morning already. We really appreciate you guys being here, and we appreciate having authentic golfers here. And I know there's 100 folks teeing it up this weekend, and it was a rough day weather-wise today, but we're gonna have a great weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you guys for being here.
No, thank you so much for having us. We're looking forward to it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We'll have you back. I'll do a recap. I'm very excited to play the Keep.
Good.
So I don't think I've teed it up in a few months though, so it could get a little interesting.
I talked to Frankie, the caddy master, and I set Matt up with a guy that doesn't even own golf clubs to caddy for him. It should be fantastic.
Absolutely. I might come caddy for him. I got a game tomorrow, but I might just go caddy. Yeah,
we got room for a fourth, so come on. So there's no gambling on the APT. We don't condone that sort of activity. Fagley, final thoughts
from Vegas. There's no gambling.
Yeah, no gambling. No, guys. Charlie, thanks a lot for the time and the insights. Nathan, obviously, you're proud of your place, so thanks for joining us. And I know the guys and gals will enjoy it. I am sad that I'm not available this time, but thanks for the time. Appreciate it. And everybody, I'm looking forward to how the scores go and hearing about Matt's favorite hole or favorite Matt's three favorite holes or whatever. However you.
That's only one favorite stretch, buddy. I've only ever said one.
Well, you're going to have a new one now, so
we'll find out. Tune in next Thursday.
Yeah.
Matt, to echo, Fegley, what you said, kind of want to echo on that real quick. I just want to say thanks to everybody that did come. And, for the last, I know this started, I think, September, October of last year when we started talking about it. And, I've been playing in a lot of events, a lot of nationals, and I just tell people about it. And people see pictures and they're like, oh, it's not that good. Those are doctored. And I'm like, that's not a doctored picture. That's from my iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, this means a lot to me that APT was willing to listen to old fat guy duck hooker and give it a shot.
I was going to describe him with other adjectives, but
I'm glad y'all are here.
You're not that old, but the rest of it's pretty accurate.
Right.
But Charlie's going to teach you how to hit a cut.
No, I'll hit one.
No, I've already taught him how to hit a cut.
I'll hit one this weekend. Just come watch, but you'll have to watch the whole time. I don't know when it's going to happen.
You can probably pay for another investment in Macklemore by the time he masters the cut.
I just got to get on the range when that wind is blowing from the Alabama side, and I'm fine.
See, the key to hitting a cut, Nathan, I'll help you out. Charlie, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a teacher by any means, but I am good at hitting a cut. The key is the ball has to start left of your target line, not right.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can.
So y'all are about to
hold the toe.
Y'all are about to end the call, or what are we doing now?
You can eat it.
Well, if we start talking about teaching how to hit a cut, we're going to be here for a while.
You can hit a cut, but if it starts to the right, then it's not going to work out so good. A cut has to start to the left.
All right, so here's how it started. All right, we got time. Here's how it started. I'm on the range. These guys from California that look like they live in trees were out here showing these irons, and I knew Charlie wasn't into it. I could tell. But you remember that day?
Yes.
So
they had all those clubs like in a coffin.
It was very awkward.
Yeah.
And the one assistant here that wants to do it is like the guy that would want to do it with that. So I'm sitting there.
Because he lives in a tree too.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there hitting, and I'm like, Charlie, I keep hitting this little draw, and every once in a while it'll be a big draw. And then if I try and do anything else, it's going to be a double cross, right? So he's like, tee the ball up low. I want you to start it at this left flag. I don't want it to go any more than 10 feet higher than that flag. Right. And I want it to go around this flag to the other flag.
And then I demonstrate it.
And he demonstrates it, and he hits 3 of them perfect. Right? So I start doing it, and I was doing it.
You were doing it. I thought you were fixed.
Right. I thought I was fixed.
And then you start looking at YouTube videos, and you were done.
And I said, no, I don't like YouTube.
There's some great advice for the weekend. Don't watch YouTube videos.
Right. Tiger said that. But
Instagram.
And then I said, so why'd you have me do that? And he's like, well, when you start this is the best comment I've ever heard in golf. He said, well, now when you start double crossing it and hit it 50 yards, now you have this shot to go to, and you can actually be in play.
Right.
And I was like, that's genius.
Thank you.
You're a genius.
Can you go over it one more time?
About you being a genius?
I'm glad I bought you dinner tonight. And your dessert, which he ate 3 scoops of ice cream out of a bedpan.
He bought my dinner, but I still get an invoice every month. So there may be something else on there.
I'm happy to do
it. That was good. Hey, I'm happy to send him an invoice.
The sad part is, we used to live next door, like across the street from each other. So this is good catching up. And we played here a few times together. We have a good time. And let me tell you, when you think Charlie doesn't play golf much anymore, he'll get to a certain hole. And let me tell you, number 12, he shanks his drive into the woods. And he hits this 4-iron.
You said the word.
And it is the most beautiful shot. He hits his, 3rd shot over the green into this high rough, downhill, down grain. And he hits this dirty flop shot on downhill, down grain that hits, doesn't spin, or it doesn't bounce at all. It just checks to the left and ends up like 6 inches from the hole. Tap in par. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, it was a net 4 too.
Yeah, he was playing it as a par 6.
Well, I mean, it's just hard to hold back talent.
It always comes back.
It's there. He's got it.
I mean, it's there. And especially when the bourbon kicks in, it's really hard to hold it back.
I always tell people when I play, there's a certain level of alcohol
Right.
where I can still be a +4.
Well,
You know what I mean?
to add to that, Charlie remembers we were on the first tee 2 weeks ago when we played, and I told the guy on my group, we were playing him and a guy and me and another guy, and I said, let me tell you something. He's got this thing in his bag, and when he pulls it out and it hits, we better be up.
Well, I hate to do that. I'm a cancer survivor, and during chemotherapy that saved my life fried the nerves in my feet, and I don't have very good balance. I don't walk very good, and I kind of give into it, and my back kills me all the time. And I never in my whole life drank when I play golf, but I'm like, okay, I beat cancer. I'm alive. I'm happy to do it, and my back hurts so bad I can't even hardly tee the ball up or bend over and get the ball out of the hole. But a little something or another helps, and then it kicks in normally somewhere between 7 and 10, and I mean it I go from a 12 to a +2 and it's more fun. And
2 weeks ago on Saturday, it was on number 10.
Yeah, exactly.
I vividly remember it.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it definitely helps.
Yeah.
The shock hits in the downswing, and then I have a little something out of my bag, and I still get a shock, but it's not until the ball is gone. So it delays my flinch long enough to hit good shots.
Everything you've been through too, it's amazing to see you play golf.
I'm happy to be here. Let me
it's
tell you.
unbelievable.
So, but if you're going to beat me, you better beat me on the front nine before the good stuff kicks in.
Right. Completely understand. Well, I hate to wrap this up. Charlie, thank you so much for having us.
Oh, my pleasure. Y'all have a great time here. We're
It's
thrilled
gonna
to
be
have you
fun.
here. Yeah,
It's going to be a good weekend, and we'll have you on to recap as well.
Oh, you got it.
I can't wait to hear what our members say about this place. What a special spot. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, well, thanks for joining us, Nathan. It's always a pleasure as well.
Thanks for having me.
And guys, stay tuned. It is going to be a phenomenal weekend here at Macklemore. Fegley, enjoy betting in Vegas. We do love you, but you are missing out, my friend. So,
I know.
but anyways, we'll stay tuned next week. We'll be at home next week, and then the Thursday after, we'll be out at the Red Rocks. So that'll be fun. And but look forward to seeing you guys next week, and hopefully this weekend, if you made the trip to Macklemore, it's going to be a special one. Don't want to miss it. So stay tuned. We'll see you guys next week, and good luck to everybody playing this weekend.
Excuse me, Mr. Fowler? Aren't you forgetting something? Thanks, man.